Welcome to Tough Crowd. Oh, excuse me. The show formerly known as Tough Crowd. We're calling it by its new name. Colin Quinn, trying his hardest to be a gentleman, while his buddy Nick Paolo dares to question him on his topics, who would really like to throw a nice right hand right in his Italian face right now. And his stupid friend Jim Norton, Keith, all those, Patrice, the only one that's well behaved is Giraldo. It's always been that way. Because he went to Catholic high school, really. But we're not here to talk about that, folks. We're here to talk about a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about the priest thing, the Catholic high school. You know, they're going to this thing about Catholic schools, drug testing in Catholic schools. And I'm not going to make a stupid played-out priest joke, ha ha ha. Because priests didn't give you drugs. They get you drinks. And then you get... Unless you count roofies as drugs. But, you know, in those days, they didn't even call them that. But how about Bush has to go to the Supreme Court just to cross the border to get criminals, okay? It's outrageous, folks. I say the Middle East, let them handle their justice. They have a good justice system over there, if you look at it. It's worked that well since the Old Testament. They haven't changed a law. You know, because first of all, you know, what do? They'll arrest. Over here, we have a jury of our peers, but it's moral relativity. Over there, they have a system of trial by jury, where if you get raped, you go on trial, and then 12 village elders throw 100 miles an hour fastballs at your burqa in a sandstorm. So they got that going for them. They don't have a jury box, they got a bullpen. And I'll tell you something else, folks. I was in court there once. I'm not kidding. Instead of the Lady of Justice, there was a statue of Cy Young. Now, you think I made that up, don't you? All right, I did, folks. Damn it. We're starting the show. I don't care what kind of anticlimactic beginning. I don't like to count my chickens before they hatch, but I think these shows are hit already. If we were to find Osama bin Laden today, the U.S. could not bring him to America to face charges for the September 11th attacks. Bush is trying to change this. Mo, what do you think?
Well, I agree with Bush, because I just don't think that the carrot and stick approach works with somebody like Osama bin Laden. I don't think you can sort of, you know, offer him an incentive package to, you know, to be extradited. The only other option, I think, is... No, yeah, I think the only other option is tomfoolery. But, I mean, the idea of our agents sort of playing Red Rover with Osama bin Laden is completely humiliating just to catch him. But, I don't know.
That tomfoolery, we're going to have to cut that out. You know, kids watch this show, too.
Oh, no, sorry.
All right, what do you guys think?
I didn't understand anything you said, but
sure.
I think...
No, that's okay.
But
you gotta watch him on the Daily Show. It's kind of a character.
Oh, a character.
No.
But I think that how can we not, I mean, you know, how can we not authorize our agents to go in and kidnap people? For example, if there is somebody in a country that's very dangerous and threatening to the United States, and, you know, if we can't send in a small, like, hit squad or something to go in and get this guy, what are we supposed to do? Send our entire military in there and take over the whole country? That's not going to happen. So
that was damn good.
I don't know why they have legislation and then about, oh, can we bring him back or not? All we want is the head, you know?
Right.
Fits in the overhead bin. There's not a lot of cost for flights back.
St. Patrick's. Let's talk about this drug testing at the Catholic school. St. Patrick's High School in Chicago will be the first school in the country to test all of its students for drug use. And it's still illegal to test them in public school.
They better hope it doesn't go to public school. That's all the New York high school students need is another test they can't pass.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, no, you didn't.
What do you expect? Everyone's a graduate.
I went to Catholic school.
You went to Catholic school,
No,
Mo?
I went to a Catholic school. So
Any stories you'd like to tell us?
Well, no, I mean, I understand why, because we were always taught that drugs dull the sensation of getting plowed by your teacher. So it's not, it's a bad, sorry. It's something that's eventually going to happen.
But why is it wrong?
Why is it wrong?
You're in high school. You're like in prison. That's what high school is, basically. You know? You get crappy food. You walk around the yard once a day. The blacks control the weight room. What can you do, man? You're stuck there. But is it all an idea so priests can go in the bathroom with teenage boys again? Is that what it is?
And
No,
urine
because they're not
samples?
using urine.
They're coming out semen samples,
They're using
probably, right?
no, they're using hair samples.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, they're
using.
using
Now all
hair
they have to do is shake their pillowcase.
No, they're using. That's what they're doing. They're clipping a little piece of each guy's hair. It's like, you know, obviously one of these priests is trying to release his inner hairdresser.
Right.
You know, he'll be out
where he gets the hair.
Now, Greg, wait a minute. Greg, as a top graduate of the top Regis High School, which impresses you know, like 5 Irish people. Tell us about the priests. A lot of them are not, even though there are a lot of priests we all know that are, but there's also a lot that aren't there?
Aren't what?
Greg?
You know what? I'll tell you this, and I guess
Ooh,
I
you really live in the church.
I guess there are legal issues on the line here, but I just very recently found out that a priest that was there when I was there, who was the coolest guy that we all loved, that we thought he was the greatest guy, we all thought he's going to leave the priesthood because he's way too normal and very laid back. We just found out 20 years later that he's now being charged and investigated with all sorts of molestation back then. And the worst part about it wasn't me, that he was molested. I always thought
But here's what I'm saying.
I thought we had a little chemistry
All
going.
jokes aside,
No, but that's a true story. That's a true story.
I believe it's a true story, but
it seems like every, you know.
Oh, wait a minute. In fairness to a priest, if the guy's gay, first of all, in the church, they became priests because the family's like, you're not gay, you're a priest. And like, oh, okay, and then they become a priest.
Yeah.
But second of all, do you actually find it would you call it child molestation? A bunch of smooth boys from Regis, they're a little nerdy, but they're starting to feel their oats, walking around the halls, and the guy, just because he's gay, he goes after them. That's not a kid. It's a young boy. It's a man.
Right. Well, 13-year-old
13?
boy. That's what you are when you're a freshman in high school, 13.
Yeah,
that's a
vulnerable. Maybe your father, you know, is Latin American
14,
and maybe a little too strict, so you're looking for another, you know, kind of father figure in your life. And
Yeah, it fills the hole. It fills the hole inside. No, I mean the void. The void inside. That's
no, I know what you mean.
Hold on, the Italian wants to say something.
Why are they? It says they can. Right now, they can only test student athletes and kids in extracurricular activities. Why are they testing?
That's public
those?
schools.
It's like, is that the quarterback and the editor of the yearbook? Are they the ones getting high at the mall in front of One Potato Two on a Wednesday?
Let me explain something I never liked about Italians or Spanish. You guys ignored the church. Only the Irish were scared to have sex, and the rest of it, you guys were like on car fronts, like making out at 12. And we sat there waiting. Oh no, the God will kill us. Why were you guys affected by the priest the way we were?
Irish chicks ended up with blue balls.
Good point, girls. You son of a bitch. They've had it with you. No.
Do you know what's...
All right, look. Thank God we finally got to this next subject. See, I was waiting for minutes, and I was like, maybe there is no third subject. Chrysler is sponsoring a pay-per-view event during halftime of the Super Bowl where models dressed in lingerie will play 7-on-7 tackle football. Is this exploitation or entertainment, Greg?
Well, you know, it's both. But you know who the head coach is? Who? Lawrence Taylor. Let's get a black crack addict and a bunch of women in lingerie. Why don't we get Mike Tyson as the offensive coordinator? We can start pressing charges right now.
But, you know,
they said that they said people are saying it's offensive. It was Chrysler sponsoring this as an advertising gimmick, and they're saying it's offensive. How can it be offensive? I mean, have you seen any of the other Chrysler ads? You know, they could spray these girls with napalm, and it wouldn't be nearly as offensive as cramming Celine Dion down our throats every 3 minutes.
Well, and also, do you know who the other coach is? Eric Dickerson. So the National Lingerie League has 100% minority head coaches, which is a lot better than the NFL. So you will not find Jesse Jackson.
League.
But
it's true, you won't find Jesse Jackson protesting this game.
It costs $20 to look at this.
That's right.
And you have to wait till the Colts finish scoring before you can see it. Porn is like $8.95, and it's a 3-hour block. There's no pressure of, oh, I've only got 20 minutes, I gotta hurry. And then they cut to LT's face, and it's like, ugh, and then you gotta start over.
I'm telling you this much. This show's getting too lowbrow and too sexual. We're going to commercial. Why don't you guys play with a pig stain on the break? No. Miss, thanks for bringing up my kiss during the break. It really makes me feel great to bring up those awful memories of Alley Cat and Elizabeth. Anyway, we like to keep up with the kids like every show. The kids, what are the kids up to? What are the kids into? So we talked to the 20-year-olds at our office, and one kid, this is true, tells us that him and his friends were saying, like, what do you guys, because well, this weekend we were talking about how some of them like sex with digital rectal stimulation. Now, I know you're sitting at home right now going, what did he say? What did he say? Hopefully you're not using the finger, you know. Yeah. I said the latest trend is finger butt enhancement during sex. And so I will ask the panel, is there any man here who has had a lead press on in his prostate? Let's start with T-Sean. What do you think?
Well,
that's my joke.
It doesn't make you gay unless it's a man's finger.
Yes.
But no, I mean, it's like, it's crazy. No, I don't think, I mean, it's like, or if it's a woman's finger and you're thinking about a man, that's bad too.
If it's a woman's thumb, that makes it gay also.
Or if she goes
But
to
wait
the
a minute.
second knuckle, yes.
But what I'm saying is this.
What about if it's a dog's paw?
Do you feel that, what if it's a highlight mix?
If she pulls out a condom,
if you,
it's gay.
do you feel, let's forget the particulars of it. Do you feel that this is like indicative of something bigger? Like,
Yes.
go ahead, fella.
Well, once again, it's questioning male heterosexual. They keep going to tell us that we're gay. It's just the whole gay movement's taken over.
And you think that,
It is. You get an all-gay high school. Every show is gay now. You need a condom to change a goddamn channel. Everything's like, this is
Not to be hacky, but this is another true story. I recently had my first prostate exam, and the doctor literally says, he
why
goes,
is that hacky? I've been doing that for 10 years of my act.
well, he says, no, he says, neither one of us is going to enjoy this. He literally says that as he's like greasing me up. He's like, neither one of us is going to enjoy this very much. So like to ease my discomfort with him, neither one of us is going to enjoy this very much. And I thought, like, why be such a pessimist, you know?
Right.
Maybe give me a chance. You never know. I'm trying to keep an open mind.
Lemons and
I had one, I swear to God, and I go, do you think I'm getting a physical? And I go, do you think, should I get a prostate exam? And he goes, well, if you want it. No, I don't want it.
Don't make me ask for
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yes, in that case, yeah.
Then they poke at you like a homeless guy trying to get a quarter out of a payphone.
all right, look, I'm done with this subject.
Still works.
Average Joe, that was a beautiful, beautiful visual, almost poetic, really. But
Here.
Average Joe wrapped up last night.
Oh, who gives a shit?
Oh,
you love that.
they just don't care. They don't care. Average Joe wrapped up last night. And Melena picks looks over money. Take a look at this, please.
The decision was so difficult. I don't want to hurt Adam, but Jason and I were so excited to be with each other, so it's very bittersweet for me.
Look at that. Once again, proving my point.
But the one guy, this guy's rich, and this guy's supposedly good looking, but lives with his mother.
Which
So
one's
she's looking
rich?
good.
Rocky Balboa? Which one's rich?
Yeah. Why don't you guys quit heckling those poor fellas? They're just trying to get a break.
Right.
And start telling me, what do you think about this? What does it mean? Is it like the finger up there?
But it doesn't mean anything because it was actually kind of a dilemma that they put her in there because the one guy was rich. He was a nice, funny guy who was rich, and the other guy was just good looking. So for like a blonde cheerleader type, that's like an impossible. It's a miracle her head didn't explode.
You know what, guys? Even though I'm sorry I brought this up, this is the fruitiest conversation I've ever had. It's making me sick to my stomach. Shut up, stupid! Do you think I pick every subject?
He's on the show. You should approve the subject.
Oh, man.
Do we have any more subjects?
They're going to cover this on the Man
hush.
Show tonight. The show that gets ratings. All right.
Oh, God, wow.
Turning on your own show like that, Nick?
Do I
How does
what?
that feel? Turning on your own show like that? How do you feel right now, you bastard?
I'm not trying. This isn't my show. I'm on once a week. I'm about as important as Rich Voss.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wait a minute. You leave that poor man's name out of this. It's like Goodfellas. Hasn't he suffered enough? You leave him out of this. All right, folks, look. People are starving all over the world without commercials. So we'll be right back. Folks, you know, the media's election coverage always spotlights the same constituencies. When I say that sentence, I realize it is a hard sentence to say. Always spotlights the same constituencies, especially when they're stuttering dry mouth like me. Unions, soccer moms, NASCAR dads, but I think I speak for everybody, not just on this show, but for all of Comedy Central, when I say the most important constituency of all is comedians. All right? Now, I'm going to rank the Democratic candidates according to which is best for the comedy scene. First up, we got Dick Gephardt. His name is Dick. Funny. Dick. Now, he's a dick joke, and his wife's name is Jane. That's true. As perfect as he is, Dick and Jane, see Dick run, blah, 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 you know. He's too sincere. We don't want him. All right, now, you got Howard Dean, MD, the first doctor president. Okay, you know, like, here, Iraq, take 2 bombs, call me in the morning. You could take 2 bombs from here and call me in the morning. He's from Vermont. You got the gay marriage up there. You got the Ben & Jerry's. I'm sure there's some fudge packet jokes in there somewhere, right? But that's about it, so we don't want him. All right, how about this guy? Wesley Clark, General Wesley Clark, he likes to call himself. He fought in Vietnam. What, his running mate could be Dat Fan? I don't know. It's the first candidates. They could beat Bush and Voss. No? I guess you're right, Nick. Nobody is. Okay. Now you got John Kerry, war hero. He married some lady that owns the Heinz ketchup family, you know? So he's the only candidate with a wife you have to pat on the bottom. I'm glad these aren't doing that well. I'm trying to explain to you why they wouldn't be good for comedy, right? Kucinich, he's from Cleveland, the first president to take the oath in a bowling shirt. I don't know. John Edwards. Shh. Sorry, John, did I wake your campaign? What happened to him? Wasn't he running? What happened? Carol Moseley Braun should be the first female black president, the first president to tell Kim Jong-il, talk to the hands. No? All right. How about Joe Lieberman? Jewish. Why is this candidate different from all the other candidates? He's the first president to have a fireside kvetch. No. The only president that's intolerant of terrorism and lactose. No. He's doing all right. Lieberman will be the first president to have an early bird State of the Union address. He's close, but obviously, this is the guy. Al Sharpton. First time you'll see Camp David on Cribs. The first presidential limo that's been leased. The Treasury Department will be replaced by the cash money millionaires. How quickly we forget the late 90s. I'd like to see people not laugh at that in New Orleans. The first president to put the national debt on layaway. No? Congressional Medal of Honor, is it going to be a 14-karat Playboy emblem? No? First president to attend his inauguration in Rockaware? Folks, the winner is clear. Vote for him. Remember, ask not what comedy can do for you, ask what you can do for comedy. We'll be right back. I think I should start the show from now on with like one of those confident things like this, and then the music goes where I'm like, hey, welcome to the show. It, folks, I'll never do that again. All right. Hey, I guess it's a baseball crowd. All right. Folks, isn't it good to know that in these difficult times, men and women are less uptight than ever about putting their fingers in each other's anuses? This show, we just won't stop. I don't know. What kink from your own sex life would you like to see become the new national trend? Nikki Paolo.
What kink? Maybe you've forgotten I'm married and live in the suburbs. The only kink you're going to find at my house is in the garden hose I bought at the Home Depot in Nyack. Our idea of a threesome is to leave Conan O'Brien on while we do it. And if we want to force him, we'll put on Jimmy Kimmel because he has a co-host. The only problem with this is if your wife is laughing, you know she's definitely laughing at you.
All right, T-Sean. T-Sean Shannon.
Hello.
Hi.
Before I got the topics yesterday, I called my parents to tell them to watch the show. So that said, the kink for my sex life would be the missionary position that I do with my wife, whom I love. It's either that or teabagging. And if you know me, you know I like my tea bags to seep a very long time.
My mic fell off. Greg Giraldo.
Well, sadly, Colin, once you remove the twisted evil from any kink, it stops being fun. You know, I like a lot of dirty talk and role-playing. You remember, Colin. These dirty talk and role-play, these days, that's like saying, I like smooching. I like making time with a gal who's a good sport. You know, it's getting to the point that any sex act not involving a chainsaw seems adorable. Whatever happened to fantasy, remember that? Look, I'm all for creating wild, erotic scenarios, but I don't think I'd really want my wife to be tag teamed by an Apache war party so she could teach me a lesson about gambling.
Greg, it's not nice to throw a shot at me when my mic is down. You know, I really can't even defend myself. Okay, Mo Rocca. Hi, Mo.
Hi. It's called cheek fun, not to be confused with ass play. It does not involve my dookie hole, no trip down Bosco Boulevard, or parking in the Cadbury cul-de-sac. No palling around with Brother Roundmouth, no breaking into my chutney locker, okay, got it? It is simply the kneading and roll thing of the cheeks. And if a finger slips and pokes me in the winking walnut, well, I won't object to that.
Okay, let me just say one thing. This is what they call a midlife crisis. Now look, I've got a mic that's hanging off under my shirt. It's mocking my whole career as a stand-up comedian that now I have this little baby mic.
You're going to stretch your collar, Colin.
What's that? I don't care if I stretch my collar.
You're going to stretch
You know
your
what?
collar. You're going to stretch your collar.
It ruins it, yeah.
Then when I was going to wear this shirt, then Liz goes to me, it makes his belly stick out. And I was like, Liz, I'll suck it in. So,
I think it looks great.
thanks,
I'm
Mo.
not just saying that because
You know, I like this guy.
Yeah.
He's got a can-do attitude. T-Sean, you want to tell us any funny SNL stories? No?
No.
All right. I'm not going to say that last line. If they want the show to end today, it has to end just like this, with me talking into a stupid mic like a fool.